Stack Overflow is full of idiots. If you follow me on Twitter, you see my community posts, and you see me talk about this just a little bit. And y'all know me. I'm not a drama guy. Don't care for it. But sometimes when you see something, you just kind of got to speak up about it. And this is my space, and I want to talk about it. Last week, I was doing some research on microservices, trying to see if it was a good fit for my app. And I came across a question where someone was just trying to get a better understanding of microservices. And one person had the audacity to start off their answer with, "You should do more research about microservices." That's what he's doing. Exactly as a community member said on my Twitter post, God forbid that he integrates some human interaction into his research process. He's trying to learn more about microservices. If I'm studying something, it'll be very nice for me to ask somebody else. Actually, I did that this morning. I wanted to learn more about the Medium Partner Program to see if it was something beneficial for me to start writing blog posts basically on a video that I make here and put them up on Medium. And someone who told me about it, y'all may know him as a data professor. He has no affiliation with my opinion. I just wanted to mention him because he introduced me to the Medium Partner Program. I hadn't heard about it before. So I sent him a message on Discord saying, "Hey, is there any info that you can send my way? Any little bit helps. I'm doing the research on it now, but if you've experienced it, so it'd be nice to hear from someone who's experienced it." That's exactly what this person was asking on Stack Overflow to get a better understanding of people's experiences with microservices. And the person, why do you have to answer like that? Why do you have to say, "Well, you should research microservices yourself"? It doesn't make any sense to me. And this isn't an isolated event. I see all the time someone asks a question on Stack Overflow just to get absolutely destroyed and downvoted into the ground and forced to remove their question. And not only are they forced to remove their question, this has happened to me in the past. I remember asking a question, trying to get an understanding of how other people went about starting their job application. Because I know there's some people who just kind of start a very base model MVP. They have a couple variables in a single class, and they just have like a function or two to do what they need. Other people, I feel like they like to do, okay, I need all these variables, I need all these classes, I need all these functions. And then later they go back in and start assigning values to the variables and start filling out the functions. And I want to get a better understanding of how people did this because I like to learn. This was many years ago. So obviously Stack Overflow hasn't changed in the past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. This is probably 7 years ago now. I was downvoted into the ground. People said, you should just pick up a Java book if you don't know how to start an application yourself. I'm asking you how you do it. Why is everyone downvoting me? Like, I don't understand why people had to be such assholes about it. Apologize. I'm sorry, I don't really cuss in my videos, but it's just, I say how it is. I don't know why you have to act like that when I'm just trying to learn. And not only that, but Stack Overflow encourages you to give in to those downvotes, to these gatekeepers pressuring you to remove your comment by rewarding you for removing your comment. I don't know if it's still like that, but 7 years ago when I removed that comment because I was downvoted into the ground just trying to figure out how they started off their job application, I got my very first Stack Overflow reward. How stupid is that? And not only that, but take a look at this. I hope my people don't mind me kind of sharing their information. I mean, they shared it first, so I hope it's okay. But Juan right here, like I said, basically how I introed this video in a very more simplified manner. It's basically what I said right here. And I wanted them to send me kind of, if they found any in the coming days and weeks, send it my way. The one that I saw about microservices, gone. Can't find it. Probably deleted it and rewarded for it by Stack Overflow. But one right here, it's ridiculous the amount of times I see something like that on Stack Overflow. Developers should do something about it. Crazy how a place for serious professional development is such a toxic environment. Sometimes you got better luck asking in subreddits of technologies you're working on. Facts. Development, and I said the developers have done something about it. They reward you for removing it, but I already talked about that. And Daniel, same exact experience as me. The first time I posted a questionnaire, I was met with the same BS. I ended up deleting my question because I felt so bad. Luckily, I was still in school so I could ask my professor for help. That's my biggest pet peeve. Every dev is still learning something or another. Just be humble and help if you can. If you can't, keep your opinion to yourself. And that's exactly right. I don't care if you are the expert in microservices. If someone who doesn't know anything about microservices shows that they're doing research on their own and they're just trying to get a better understanding of it in adding human interaction into learning, don't come in here and be an asshole. Don't be a smart ass. Don't just keep scrolling. Don't answer anything. or help them in a kind way. Link them in the documentation and say, I just think it's very valuable. If you haven't already looked at this, very valuable for new developers and experienced developers to read the documentation and learn that way. Jack, I totally relate to this, and it's not just Stack Overflow. It is not just Stack Overflow. He said he joined discords about web development and tried to surround himself with like-minded people. And then he was met with the same BS. The people around him acting like he was stupid for not already knowing the answer. And how he was shocked at how even in a channel meant for helping others, this was still the case. Same thing on Twitter. Again, Greg said, heaven forbid he tries to introduce human connection in his learning process. And Rohit is the only one that has played devil's advocate. And he said, I'll play devil's advocate here. The situation in Stack Overflow is complex. It's not as easy to spot right and wrong. Sometimes people are indeed lazy and we expect them to show what they've done already. Only then we can help them improve it. Okay. I'm gonna address that. One, I disagree. I think it's fairly black and white. Or should I say binary? It's very binary where it's right and wrong. If it's clear that the person asking has done no research of their own and is asking a question, it still doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. You still can be nice and say, look, I recommend that, point them in the right direction, like I said before. And don't just be mean to the individual just because you feel like they haven't put in the work, or just because they ask a question that you deem as stupid. You are not in the right to figure out whether or not a question is stupid. And I mean, there are just plenty of other cases on the matter about this. I don't know what else to tell you. And I must say, the worst part of it all is the simple fact that when that happened to me, I questioned whether or not I wanted to be a programmer. I was young and spry and excited to jump into this community and become a part of this community and learn and be surrounded by like-minded people, and just to be met with these, I'll call them gatekeepers, just to be met by these gatekeepers who think that they're the end-all be-all of programming, or they think that you're not good enough because you're asking stupid questions, or they're just being mean to you for no reason. That made me re-question it. Like, why do I want to go into an industry that is filled with people like this? That's just the worst part of it all, is that I'm sure there are plenty of people that quit because they say, I don't want to be a part of that community. That's a bad community. They don't care about anyone but themselves. They're mean to up-and-comers and all that. Well, for those people, don't quit because of a few bad eggs. And I know I'm throwing Stack Overflow under the bus because I feel like it's almost a culture at Stack Overflow. But remember, the negative people, the mean people, are always going to be louder than the positive people. You just have to try to work on finding those positive influences in the space and people who are actually there to try to help. And for all those people who are out there discouraging other people and shaming them and gatekeeping the computer science, software development, coding, hacking, whatever industry, don't. It's not that hard to be nice. It's really not.